Hello, story lovers! Welcome to Nana's Fairy Tales, where we share amazing and interesting stories. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we upload another enchanting tale.
There was in a little village a boy named Ike. Ike was the only son of his mother. He has other brothers, but they were not of the same mother with him. Ike's mother was married to his father as a second wife. His mother passed on while trying to give birth to him. He was the youngest of all his brothers, but his brothers hated him so much because he was his father's favorite son. Ike's father was the richest and most prominent hunter in the village and beyond. He was known for always bringing different species of animals home. He can never go to hunt and come back empty-handed. He carries Ike wherever he is going to and adores him so much. This made Ike's brothers despise him. They never want to see him. They beat him up as any slightest provocation when their father is not around, and threaten to beat him even more if he dares report them to their father. This continued. Ike Sr. buys the best garments for his favorite son Ike. Whenever he buys goodies from the market for his sons, he keeps the best for little Ike. This made his brothers hate him every single day. The fact that he is the least of them all, yet the one that bears their father's name, is another thing that bothered them and make them even more bitter. Innocent Ike, a strong little boy that looks weak and helpless because of the ill treatments he constantly receives from his brothers. He is bold, fearless, and strong. Though his brothers hate him, whenever anyone beats or insults any of his older brothers, he will come out and yell fearlessly at them. They will marvel at the powerful voice of this little boy and run away. He is widely known in the village as the fearless son of a great hunter. This honor even enraged his brothers more. Many years later, when Ike had grown into a strong young man, a great hunter like his father had grown old and could no longer hunt the way he used to. Ike took his place and continued to supply the village with meat just like his father always do. One day, his father called him and spoke at length with him. He told him to always love his brothers and protect them no matter how they treat him. Ike wondered why his father is saying these things. How can he protect his brothers when he is the least of them all? It should be the other way round, he thought. However, he didn't question his father but took his words to heart. That night, Ike Sr. knew he would be with his ancestors. His children woke up the next day to find him still and lifeless. They wept bitterly. Ike knew his life was about to take a different turn since his father, the only one that loves him in the family, has gone. He cried and wished things didn't happen the way they did. Days after Ike's father's burial, Ike's worst nightmare became a reality. His brothers chased him out of the compound and took all that his father willed to him from him. Ike had always known that day would come, but he never thought it would come so early. Ike left his father's house with just his bag of clothes. He felt very bad and wept profusely. He missed his father badly. He carried the hunting gun his father left for him and walked away. Ike was so angry. His brothers never looked back in dealing with him. He felt hurt and betrayed. Ike walked to a faraway land and lived there. His new village is smaller than his fatherland. His brothers lived as though he never existed. Ike settled in his new village and showed the village what his father taught him. He began hunting and supplying them with enough meat. Ike became a prosperous hunter, but he knew there is more to his strength and tactics. While he was hunting with his father, they practiced fighting skills. Not only did his father teach him how to use the gun, how to shoot arrows and never miss the target, and other self-defense tactics, Ike knew he was more of a warrior, a fighter than a hunter. During festivals in his new village, Ike would display his fighting skills. They set targets for him and he would shoot directly into them with his arrows. He displays his art of fighting with his sword. This made the villagers marvel. The warriors in the village dared him to wrestling contests and he beat them all, even their most dreaded warriors. Ike can effortlessly fight 10 strong men and defeat them all. The villagers call him Dike. Each time he wins as usual in a combat, they literally began to worship him as the village's strongest man. One season, a community called Umudike, which resides beside Ike's new village, killed a titled man from Ike's community. The two villages have had a long time beef, which settled each year and rises in the following one. The people of Ike's community feared these people so much, for their warriors are mighty and numerous. They dared Ike's community to a fight, threatened to kill them all and dispossess them of their lands. The king and the elders of the community panicked. They realized tragedy is about to strike them, as they might all be wiped out. Ike was greatly moved in his spirit. He told the king to assemble all the young men in the village. The king gave an order and the young boys and men in the village were assembled. Ike charged them, gave them reasons to fight for their land and defend their inheritance. They were greatly moved. Ike joined forces with other warriors in the village and trained them. He taught them the art and skill of fighting. He taught them how to use the sword, shoot arrows, and even guns. He trained them, and in 3 weeks, these young men became fearless and great warriors. They chanted war songs as they waited for the day the rival village would attack them. Ike knew that the best way to win the battle was to lay ambush and attack the village first, because their numbers are great. So laying an ambush would take the rival village unawares, and before they could be prepared, a great number of them must have been killed. Ike's warriors bought this idea, and they went to the camp of their enemies. They hid in every corner and waited for order. They were ordered to kill any soldier they saw outside quietly, so that those inside wouldn't know what was happening. They used this tactic, and before their opponents could know what was happening, their number has drastically reduced. Ike's warriors came out of their hiding, led by Ike. They killed each and every one of their soldiers and captured their king. They took their king alive and carried the heads of all their soldiers home. They sang and danced triumphantly as they marched to the village. Their king, as well as the villagers, was so excited. They danced and praised Ike. They called him all sorts of names in praise. The king threw a feast that all the soldiers might be celebrated, and Ike crowned the governor of the village, a title higher than that of the king. On that day, the villagers gathered in celebration. They feasted like never before. At last, they will enjoy a lasting peace. Ike was crowned the governor of the village. He amalgamated his village and Umudike. He ruled the two villages and brought them joy and victory. He continued to grow his army, trained them, and taught them to always be at alert and ready for war, in case any village decides to take them unawares and sweep them off their feet. Ike's kingdom prospered and peace continued to reign among them. He helped the farmers by supplying them all they need to cultivate. Their harvests were bountiful in and out of season. Ike governed them with great wisdom, still respecting the king that crowned him governor. He taught his people how to preserve their food so that it would last longer in case of any drought or famine. This made the village to continually be in possession of food. And one fateful year, fight arose between Ike's brothers' community and another stronger village. They knew they needed a stronger community to back them up in order for them to win the battle. They decided to form allegiance with Ike and his warriors. What do you think would happen? Would Ike help them or leave them to perish? Find out in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this amazing piece. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we upload another amazing tale. And do not forget that the episode 2 of the story is loading. See you around.